Hi, my name is Adriana Pegorer and welcome to this virtual presentation. I'm here in South London and I hope you'll enjoy it. Before I begin, I would like to thank Dr. Williams for her support and generous insights. Performing gender in Milongas of Buenos Aires. The focus of my investigation is observing gendered behavior in dancing, and I chose to concentrate on Argentine Tango because the categorization of sexuality in this dance form is particularly well defined. A milonga is a dance hall where dancers meet to dance the tango, with its many connotations of passion, desire, and jealousy. Yet often the purpose of attending a milonga is not simply to dance, but also to meet with other dancers, listen to the music, have dinner, or just to be in a social environment. Because to those addicted to it, attending a milonga is often an obsessive, irresistible, and mysterious experience. When I started attending classes in 1996 in London, I became aware that the dance technique of tango had to be balanced with the same amount of display of gender qualities, so that the couple dancing became a heart with four legs, as the dancers say. I remember seeing fellow students showing a high level of frustration, for the process of negotiating those four legs, two males and two females, in the tight embrace required by the tango, was not an easy task. Women struggle to follow the male dancer's lead, on their dangerously high heels, struggling, it seems to me, both with their balance and their patience, whilst the men struggle to learn the step, at the same time trying their best to lead. Gloria and Rodolfo Dinzel, innovative Argentine teachers and performers with an international reputation, describe the tango, quote, as a monologue in which it is the man who, generally, gives out commands, and the woman whose role is to listen and act accordingly, in a passive and submissive attitude. This is a deep-rooted concept, traditionally accepted and repeatedly ratified through oral and written custom. End quote. I am concerned here to find out if broader social conventions regarding gender relationship in Buenos Aires are in any way similar to Dinzel's description of gender dynamics in the tango. I will make observation about social recreational activities as these relate to food and courtship in Buenos Aires, investigate some parallels between the dancing rules and the social roles, and identify any signs that might destabilize Dinzel's view. Initially, I will introduce the Milongas of Buenos Aires, referring both to the observation that I made during my visit in Buenos Aires in 2001 and 2007, and from information collected from Argentine dancers in Europe and North America. Please note that the set of rules identified here form what many tango dancers call the traditional code. These are often featured in many tango schools' websites and publications, as students who wish to dance in Buenos Aires need to learn the code to be able to enter the dancing game of the milonga. Outside Buenos Aires, the traditional code is also followed, and many schools profess a strict adherence to it, trying to recreate the Buenos Aires experience. The etiquette includes suggestions from how to dress to how to behave and communicate, but include also a preference for dancing a particular style, referred to as close embrace, or milonguero, or tango salon, all of which are considered traditional. A milonga conventionally consists of a central dance floor with tables and chairs arranged at the sides, with a bar and sometimes a restaurant. Milongas are nomadic and periodic, and dancers represent a small but selected social group in the Buenos Aires nightlife. At present, one can learn and dance tango every day and every night of the week in a diverse choice of venues. What characterizes the traditional code at the milonga is the mirada, the look, for everybody is looking at everybody else at all times, with conversation generally limited to short anecdotes, brief exchanges, or complimentary remarks. The most important things are the dancing, being watched on the dance floor and watching the dance floor. Additionally, the space around the dance floor needs to be monitored constantly. In the milonga, men usually sit together at tables at the edge of the dance floor, or they might stand at the bar or walk about and engage in short conversations. Women often sit on their own or with female friends. If a woman sits with a man, everybody in the milonga will assume they are partners, and none of the men will invite that woman to dance. Men invite women to dance with a quick distant nod, the cabeceo, which goes something like this, or simply like this, raising the eyebrows. To which women respond by nodding and standing up if they accept, or by looking away and remaining seated if they decline. A man will often accompany a woman back to her seat after the dancing. Women are generally not allowed to cabeceo men. They can look, accept, or refuse, but not choose. I was told that the origin and reason for the cabeceo lies in the fact that the possibility remains for the man to keep his dignity if he is declined. Having observed the macho behavior of the male in the tango, it might be that the stereotype of the macho pimp gangster might have been born through the myth of the Latin lover with the local Argentine cowboy. The prostitute femme fatale figure stems from the cabaret-like bordello, since, quote, prostitutes were the first women to dance the tango, end quote. Costume choice are often reflect those characters, with men in elegant suits and often hats, while women prefer tight, provocative dresses and bright red makeup. The dress code reflects the mobility in relation to the body and the environment, emphasizing flexibility for men with the suits and flat shoes, and restriction for women with the provocative dresses and high heels. The stereotypical setting could be related to tango's origin, but that was last century's context. Why is this reenactment still so relevant today? It is possible that tango achieved global success because it symbolizes and exaggerates the myth of the male-dominant, female-submissive, heterosexual relationship that many people can relate to, even today, and the Milonga codes and the dancing provide the context where it can be performed. When carrying out my research during my visit in Buenos Aires in July 2007, I sat and watched the web of fleeting looks fill the hall. Even among confusion and darkness, partners seem to be able to find each other with a simple glance and nod across a crowded room and through a busy dance floor. Attentive observation and focus is one of the keys to successfully invite and be invited, because dancing skills are not limited to a display of technique, but entails a sophisticated method of scanning the room and familiarity with the code. Learning the subtle and complex code of the Milonga requires a long and often not so pleasant apprenticeship. I would like to share 2 examples from attending 2 Milongas. A mature Argentine and I shared a table at a Milonga, as it is customary that a waiter places 2 or 3 single women at the same table. We barely exchanged a smile while she immersed herself in the dancing, going to the dance floor and coming back, then going dancing again. This is an example of a milonguera, an expert female tango dancer who has mastered the code of the Milonga. The other example is that I sat with another Argentine dancer and choreographer whom I knew, and we talked for a while. I could see her antennas always monitoring the dance floor and the available dancers at the sides. It seemed to me a lot of hard work. I noticed that the male dancer had been relating with each other in a much more relaxed and enjoyable way than we had. Suddenly, she was invited, so she stood up and went to dance. All this happened in few seconds. Although I understand she was there to dance, I felt she was being overly eager. As I mentioned earlier, those who initiate the invitation to dance with the cabeceo are men, but women who may feel like dancing can only sit, keep on scanning, and eagerly wait. Both genders seem to employ a skilled, intricate, and intense strategy, sometimes thrilling and sometimes slightly exasperating. The Milonga code can be used as a test. I was told of how men sometimes promise a dance and then hide, to see if the woman accepts other dancers' offers, assessing faithfulness and respect.